Hi, welcome to the podcast. I'm Marty and I'm interviewing John today. We're just going to discuss some AI stuff.
Hello.
John, have you heard of C3 AI? It's a company, you might have heard their ads on the radio or on TV or something. They,
I don't live in America, so I haven't heard radio or watched TV.
okay, yeah, you're in Spain. We, so they work with huge companies like Shell and Google and Baker Hughes. I don't even know what Baker Hughes is. Edison,
It sounds like they bake Hughes,
uh,
is what they do. They're bakers.
Mitsubishi, but they have videos about all the stuff they do. It's it's a lot of like taking all this complicated data that they've collected and then make predictions about profits or what the company should do to improve themselves and big money.
Yeah.
Have you ever worked for a big company?
Um, Taco Bell
Taco
back in the
Bell, yeah.
day. But I wouldn't really consider that a big company. But I remember just their computer system being so terrible, that like register and everything. And like looking back on it now, like it wasn't the easiest. Like you think of fast food as this kind of entry level position where anybody could do that job, but it still takes a long time to train somebody to do all these different things, and especially that cash register. Like they just had so many buttons that made no sense. Like your first week working the cash register, you'd always have to call somebody over and be like, how do I do this without onions? How do I do this other stuff? But you would think like a big company like Taco Bell could just make a better system so idiots could use this whole thing, and you didn't need to like train somebody for a few weeks to have them be able to use it. That's like looking back on that time, I was always just thinking like, yeah, like what were they doing? Why why make it so complicated? Why not pay the money to get something better made? But then I guess too, it's like maybe you have to get that new technology to be put in, the new computers and new cash register. But I feel like all of that pays for itself pretty quickly.
Yeah. It was probably, I mean, it wasn't state of the art at the time, but it was it was old and needed to be fixed.
Yeah,
But it could have been the franchisee that
true.
that didn't update it, or it could have been just that it was too expensive to change in all their stores.
Hmm.
But now, like, technology is a lot cheaper than it used to be.
True. I think that the Habit has done a pretty good job of like what they've implemented, where you can either like order it and pick it up, or they'll like come to your car. Um, I think the last time I was in there, they had like the whole kiosk thing that you could put your order into.
Oh yeah.
But the first time I did that, like I tried to do the the no bun, and there wasn't like an option for that. So like I did some option, and then they gave it to me with the bun. It's like, oh yeah, like they didn't want a bun. So there's always things like that that come up, but I'm sure they've fixed it since then
Mm-hmm.
to allow that to happen.
Nowadays, they should probably. If I were the owner of Taco Bell or the Habit, I would like try to record data about all the processes that are happening, like
Hmm.
how fast things are getting made and where the employees are and like what people are ordering, and then use all that data and optimize it with AI.
Hmm.
So that's sort of like what C3 does.
Another thing before I lose this train of thought is I went to this sports store. They have this one called Decathlon, They have it in a bunch of European countries. They had it in Colombia. I know they have it in Australia too. And they just kind of had this like big tray that was like maybe like around your waist level. And you just put all of your items in there. You didn't have to scan any barcode. You just put it in there and it would automatically ring up all of your things that you have. And I thought like, oh, that's so interesting. Like I've never seen that in America. Have you?
No, but I heard Amazon had a store that you just take something off the shelf and then you leave and it automatically charges you.
Yeah, it's probably something like that.
Yeah, that's
It's
cool.
interesting.
Yeah.
I think also like AI could probably help determine like what vegetable or anything that you have. Like what they're doing now is just putting a lot of barcodes on things and determining it that way. But also too, like a lot of things like peppers, they're not going to individually label every single jalapeno pepper that costs like 20 cents. But one time I went to the Safeway, which is also Bonds, and I bought this like I think it was a red jalapeno pepper, and I go to put it in the system, and it's not in the system. So I asked the guy, and he's like, "Okay, let me do that for you." And then it comes back as like $1.50. And all I did was buy this like jalapeno pepper this big, and like I know the price of like jalapeno peppers, like that's like a 20-cent pepper. And then he
Mm-hmm.
charged me $1.50 for it. But for him, like he's just some guy that works there. He doesn't care about the prices or that it's the wrong price. And then I was like, I told him that's the most expensive pepper I've ever bought in my life. And then he just like clicked a few more things, and then it was like 10 cents or something.
Yeah.
But I was thinking that could be a kind of interesting thing for AI of like seeing that vegetable that you put down there and being able to like maybe it can't determine which vegetable you have, but it could give you like, maybe a list of 4 or 5 vegetables and say like, oh, which one did you choose? And that's much quicker than you having to like search it up, find that, put it in there.
Yeah. Yeah, I could see AI helping with that. But, like these steps that humans have to take, where they have to type something in and they have to
Hmm.
look into a system,
Yeah.
AI can do that too. Like, there's a new AI called um, Devin. It's called Devin, and it's a software engineer AI. And so,
Hmm.
like, you give it a problem, you like say, create this app and use this API. It will.
Hmm.
It has its own browser. It has its own, code editor, and it
Hmm.
has its own console. So it can go to the API website, go through the documentation, learn how to use it, and then try to use it. And then if it if it if there's an error, it can look at the error and try to fix the error, just like a human would. It's so crazy.
I'm wondering if some of those people are using that on like Shopify apps. I was seeing this one company that had like 30 apps or something like that, but every single one of the apps was rated so terribly.
Oh yeah.
Like they all like either didn't have reviews or the reviews are just like this sucks and it doesn't work. So I was just thinking like, yeah, how is this person creating how is this app company just creating so many apps? And then they're also just all just so terrible.
Hmm. Let's listen to some music. Can you hear the music? Does it make you want to get down?
I don't hear anything, Marty.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, can you see this?
Yeah. Gen 1, runway.
Yeah, this is a company called Runway, and their model is called Gen 1. I guess they have a Gen 2 now, and it takes a picture or a video and it turns it into a new video. So I gave it this photo of myself,
Hmm.
and then it created this very creepy video. So I'm turning my head and I have a man bun. And then I wanted
Yeah.
to it lets you make a 4-second video, and then from there you can extend it 2 more
Hmm.
times, 3 more times. So here's the full video. Man bun, and I'm walking away.
Turning into a woman, having gas come out of your hair.
Yeah, it's very strange, but yeah, I guess when my face moves out of the frame, it doesn't remember my face anymore, so it
Yeah.
creates a new face.
One
And my
thing I
hair.
thought would be interesting would be to develop our own AI model and put it on Instagram and see if we can get any people to like our pictures.
Yeah, yeah, I've been thinking about creating a model and training it. What kind of model would you want to make?
A hot one.
Oh, one that like takes pictures and makes them more attractive?
Um, like what I'm saying by model is like a
Oh,
Instagram model,
oh yeah, I see what you're saying.
and putting those images up on Instagram. But I think the more interesting thing beyond that is having AI be able to engage with everybody that's like writing a comment or in sending a DM or writing a comment on the image. So like you wouldn't have to do any of that kind of engagement. You just would have like parameters set of say, hey, if somebody writes this long of a message, write a response or like write a response for every 10 comments or so. So it's not like a comment for every single person. And like every direct message, like reply to that direct message.
So you're saying it would be a presence on social media that's digital and like fake pictures and fake text responses?
Yeah,
Yeah. There's people that
I know it
like
exists already.
yeah, people that pretend to be photographers by posting generated photos.
Hmm.
Uh, yeah, people make whole movies out of using generated videos. It's crazy. Let's go to the next technology that I discovered. This one, it takes old photos, like old family photos, and it creates video. See this? Here's the old photo. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
And yeah, this guy has come to life. How does that make you feel, John?
It's kind of like a Harry Potter kind of thing. You know how they have those
Yeah, like the living wall,
like
living,
paintings. Yeah. It's pretty cool.
and you can add funny voices to them too. Oh, I really wish that I had a hot dog.
Oh, that was a pretty good one. Did that come up with it?
Yeah, yeah, I came up with that funny voice.
Oh, all right. I thought that was an AI voice. It was so good.
Yes. Moving on, here's a service that takes your legal documents and kind of in, translates them into English so anybody can understand.
Okay.
This says it's coming soon, so it's not around yet. This one's called cleanup.pictures, and you can just select stuff you don't want in the picture and then delete them.
Yeah, I've noticed like Android phones have options like that.
Oh yeah, let's try it. Whoa! This one's called fireflies.ai, and they take audio and kind of like transcribe it, summarize, search. You can analyze your voice conversations.
Can it change your voice to make it sound better?
Yeah, they have noise cancellation. They can get rid of
Mhm.
echo. If you have a boring voice, they can make you sound better.
I think my problem is I don't have any inflection. It just sounds so monotone.
Yeah, they can do auto tune.
Is there an option of for those monotone people like me?
Probably, yeah. Use case. You can sound like Flava Flav.
What does GPT stand for?
Mm, I don't know.
Because I
GPT.
heard this guy that was talking about creating your own GPT from a knowledge base, where it's kind of like this bot that like answers everything based on your knowledge base that you have.
Mm-hmm.
But then I was just like, I don't know what GPT means. Like to me, it's just three letters. Let me see what it means. What does, but kind of weird how, we use that all the time with Chat GPT, but neither of us know what it stands for. Um, okay. Generative pre-trained transformer,
Oh, Transformers.
a type of AI technology that can generate content from text or image inputs. So, yeah, I guess so. This guy's just kind of saying that you can create your own GPT models based on your, selected knowledge base that you have. So once you create all of the information on your end, once somebody goes in and like searches for different information, like an AI person can interact with those things. And I thought that made a lot of sense for like our business where we have all this information um,
The
from the
emails.
knowledge base. Yeah. Well, from the emails too. I
Oh,
know
from
that
the
on Fresh Desk that they have higher up plans that use AI also, but also too, like forever ago, we decided to move all of our knowledge base from the thing that they had to our own one on our own website. But now I'm wondering if it would be better to have it on their system because then we could add all of that knowledge base stuff when they do like a chat box kind of thing. But then maybe there might be an easy way to import all of that stuff from WordPress into the system too. I kind of wanted to start on one of our smaller apps and see how it would work.
yeah. The more data it has, the better it will work.
Because also just so many times like we get these emails or we get people that just haven't taken the couple seconds to do a search in our knowledge base and like answer questions that are solved there. So I'm wondering if there's like some automated way to reply to emails with um, just what it's learned from past emails.
Or we could create a
And
chat bot that does that.
yeah, yeah. And I know they have chatbot stuff. Like we used to use the chatbot stuff, but then people wanted to have like a response immediately. And back then, like we needed to be there, we needed to be present to answer those things.
Mm-hmm.
And that was awful because I would have it on my phone, but if you were like a minute or two late, they would just get mad and like leave. And it's just like, okay, this doesn't work. I don't want to be on their time schedule the whole time.
Yeah.
But if AI is there to respond, then it's pretty good.
Yeah. If it does a good enough job.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess I can try updating join to a higher plan in Freshdesk and seeing how that does.
We could try it out.
Yeah.
All right. Just two more things I want to go over. This one I mentioned before, it's the software engineer AI, and it
Hmm.
you can see here in this video, it has a console here. It's got a code editor, and it has a web browser.
Hmm.
So here it's looking up the API documentation, and then it can try to use it, and it gets an error, and then it can figure out how to fix the error.
Have you tried building anything with this?
No, they're not. It's not open to the public yet.
Mm.
Maybe if we had a hard a problem that's important enough. Whoa. All right, let's look at some pictures. These are being generated right now using Midjourney.
Cool.
This guy typed in seeds planted in a garden growing animated storybook. V is the version 5.2, and style raw means don't interpret, like don't add your own style to it. Just use the prompt that I put in.
Yeah. What's interesting is I've like used the Chat GPT Dolly, and like it always comes back with such unpolished, terrible images. Like, how is Midjourney so much better than what Chat GPT has?
Um, you might have been using the old version of DALI.
Hmm.
The newer one is pretty good. I think Midjourney's better, but
Yeah.
it depends a lot on the prompt.
Yeah.
Uh, this one says grandparents watching children play. Woman has head on man's shoulder. Spring. AR is the aspect ratio 2:1. That's why it's a wide
Mm.
image. These are all pretty good.
Yeah.
This this lady's hand is weird.
Yeah. True.
But yeah, it's pretty good at faces and hands. It's amazing. And with these features, you can take this image and upscale it so it'll double the size and then interpret the pixels so it's actually um, higher quality.
Hmm.
And then you can take that image and make variations based on it.
Hmm.
And you can also zoom out and then it'll use AI to fill in the space around.
And
Zoom
are you
in.
paying at all for this, or are you still just on the free plans that they offer?
I have the basic plan. I think it's like 20 or $30 a month,
Yeah,
and that lets you generate 200 images at fast speed
yeah.
a month. So I haven't hit that limit.
Okay.
It's
Here,
kind of
try and have it come up with logos for our app, Relentless. I want to see what it comes up with.
so I type in imagine, and then you want a logo for a tech company called Relentless Apps,
Yeah.
and then any kind of style you want to add to it.
Modern, simple style.
Like, okay, let's try this.
Okay.
So it should take about a minute to generate.
Oh, those are cool logos.
Let's use this for our company.
I just remember when I tried doing this in like Dolly, it was just like they would just come back with things that looked so awful.
Uh-huh. So here's a little preview of what it is creating.
Okay.
I found that Bing's image creator is pretty good. It uses Dolly, but for some reason it's better at making logos.
Hmm.
Ooh.
That one that's like the upper right is like pretty cool, where it kind of looks like an R.
Uh-huh. Yeah, it didn't really add any text.
Maybe you could specify using the text relentless
Uh-huh.
or using the R as an icon. But I don't know. Yeah, that is pretty cool. Like, even though a lot of those things didn't really match something that we could use, like, it still looked pretty professional. That looks cool.
Yeah, this one he input an image.
Okay.
This
Can you see
was
what that image is? Is that the image
this
he
is
put in?
yeah,
Okay.
and then he said skin. So I don't know what he should have put a better uh I don't know what he was trying to do with the word skin.
I think he wanted it to be tiled. So, like, you can make it go on for infinity.
Yeah, when you add this is a parameter
Uh-huh.
that makes it tileable.
Hmm.
So each of these images can be tiled infinitely.
So I think maybe what he wanted to do was like create something to like put a skin on his phone or like
Oh yeah,
computer, something like that.
yeah, that makes sense.
Can
Okay.
you like upload an image of yourself and have it make variations based on your like how you look?
Yes, but it doesn't. It usually like does a variation on people's faces, so it's never an actual. It doesn't.
Mm,
It doesn't really. It doesn't do face swapping.
mm.
You can.
Well, I was seeing in this other person's tutorial, like you can create a character and then you can create variations on that character later on.
Yeah, I saw
Like,
something about that where it kind of remembers the character.
yeah, where that's also the same kind of thing of what I was saying about creating the AI Instagram model of like you create that Instagram model character, and then you can have it generate images in different locations, have it wearing different clothes, things like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah. I heard you can do that, but I'm not sure how. If it can, yeah, I'm not sure how.
I was hearing, oh, that's pretty cool. I was hearing that so many kids today want to become like TikTok stars, Instagram influencers. I watched this video on these these like houses where these kids are like teenagers living there and just creating these TikTok videos and scripting these like little TikTok videos that appear on there. And I guess you don't make any money based on how many views you have, but what it's all about is product placement and like having some product in the middle of it. So these people aren't making any money off of TikTok necessarily. They're making money off of all the endorsements that they get.
Interesting.
So TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, they're the ones making all of the money. And then these other people have to make the money based on just their fame and getting other people to give them, pay them for product placement. But I know the one that's different is YouTube. Like YouTube pays their creators, a certain amount from all of the advertisement revenue.
Oh, yeah.
But I heard a lot of people get their their followers from places like TikTok because it's easier to grow a following there. And then they bring their followers over to something like YouTube where they can make money off of it and monetize it there.
Oh, yeah. I've been trying to use YouTube Shorts because it gets a lot of traffic for the first day, like 400 views, and then after
Hmm.
that it stops. But it might be a good way to at least get some traffic when you don't have a following at all.
Well, also they're probably just throwing stuff out there and being like, let's just throw this in front of people. And once they see that there's like some kind of engagement or there's like a lot of people liking it, then they're like, okay, like let's show this to 400 more people, and then
Yeah.
they just and then that way just like the most successful content just gets like perpetuated and shown on their system.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
The free walking tours,
Look at
all
my
of that good stuff.
biceps.
Pretty strong. Have you been working out?
Yeah, I've been doing push-ups and pull-ups.
I haven't been doing shit.
Let's compare our biceps.
My arms got pretty huge when I was working out in the US.